Alright guys, our next set of notes is solving two-step equations. Make sure that you go into your table of contents and you write two-step equations, okay? I don't have my notebook with me and I'm doing the notes now through my iPad. So make sure you're labeling your notes in your table of contents and you're also dating them because you're going to need to know those dates for your end of the 9-week notebook test. So the date that we have right now is going to be 9/15/15. That's the date that we're going to actually do the activity in class. Alright, so just like when we were solving two-step equations, let's look at the example that we have here. It says example 1, negative 2x plus 4 equals 8. So again, just like before, our goal is to get the variable x by itself, okay? But now we don't just have one operation to do, whereas it was like addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division. Now we're going to have addition or subtraction on top of multiplication or division. So again, the goal, just like in a one-step equation, is to get our variable by itself. It says step 1, get the term that has the variable alone. Get the negative 2x by itself. So normally if we're following PEMDAS, we would do multiplication and division first. But when we're doing an equation and we're solving for a variable, we're going to go backwards. We're going to work it backwards. So we want to do addition and subtraction first. So in order to get negative 2x by itself, you must get rid of the 4. Okay? Now the 4 is being added to the negative 2x. So in order to get rid of the 4, excuse me, give me a minute, you must do the inverse or the opposite of what is already being done. And we talked about this in class several times. The inverse of addition is subtraction. Well, that doesn't look very good. So let me erase that real quick. And I'll try writing it again a little bit neater. You know, my handwriting in class isn't amazing either. So, but I'm trying to use a stylus and it's a little on the bigger side for me. Anyway, so obviously the opposite of addition or the inverse of addition is subtraction. So we look at our equation here and it says negative 2x plus 4 equals 8. Alright, so I like to draw the line going down the equal sign so that we're separating all this information over here on the left of the equal sign from this information over here on the right. And our goal, remember, is to get this x right here all by itself. So in order to do that, we're going to need to zero out this plus 4. And so for us to zero out, we're going to do the inverse, which would be to subtract 4. And when we do that, plus 4 minus 4, that cancels out. And whatever I do to one side of my equation, or my equal sign, I've got to do to the other. So over here below the 8, I'm also going to write minus 4. Okay? And then if you look right here, it shows negative 2x, bringing it straight down. And that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to bring this straight down. Okay? And then 8 minus 4 equals 4. Now that's just the first step. And now we're going to go ahead and talk about the step 2. Okay, so step 2 says get the variable x by itself. The operation between negative 2 and x is what? And I told you in class that whenever you see excuse me, I'm trying to get used to this. I need to grab the little hand thing. Whenever you see two numbers or two things side by side like this, remember that means that they're going to be multiplied together. Okay, so the operation between negative 2 and x is multiplication. Alright. Well, that's not very nice looking. Let me see if I can type it in there because it's kind of small. Okay. Okay. There we go, multiplication. So to get rid of the negative 2, we must do the inverse operation. Well, the inverse operation of multiplication is division. So I'm going to actually write that in. Division. You know, I'm not counting off for spelling or handwriting, so no worries on that. So right now it says negative 2x equals blank. Well, up here we put that it equals 4. So I need to take this 4 here and bring it down right here. All right, and so we're still trying to solve for x all by itself. So I'm going to go ahead and divide right here. Now, most important thing to do when you're dividing is that you divide by when you divide the number, you need to make sure that you also include a negative sign if it's being included. So here, it's a -2, so I need to divide by -2, okay? So that cancels out, leaving us with just x. And remember, whatever I do to one side of the equal sign, which I need to draw my line, I've got to do to the other. So I'm going to also divide this side by -2, all right? Which then leaves us with 4 divided by -2, and if you use your triangle that I've been talking about here lately, we cover up our positive that we have, because we have a +4, and we cover up our negative, which leaves us with a negative answer. So then you should have gotten x equals -2, and be sure to box your answer. And then when you go to check it, you're just going to plug it in, which I'm kind of running out of room here. So I'm going to go ahead and plug in real quick. -2 times -2, again, we're going to plug in for x, plus 4 equals 8. Well, a negative times a negative is a positive, so then 4 plus 4 equals 8. And 4 plus 4 is 8, so we did do that correctly. All right. Now we're going to go on and go to the next problem over here, and we're going to talk about where it's got division instead of multiplication. So I need to go ahead and erase this. Or I'm going to try to. You know, this is a learning process. This is new to me too. Okay, so here we are with example number 2, and it says w divided by 2, because remember the fraction bar now means to divide. We're not using the division symbol anymore. Divided by 2 plus 6 equals 7. So as always, we're solving for an equation. Our goal is to get the variable w by itself. So it says step 1, get the term that has the variable alone. So get w divided by 2 by itself. So in order to get w2 by itself, we've got to get rid of that 6. We want to get rid of this plus 6 right here. And we want to get rid of it doing the inverse operation of adding 6. So the operation, it says right here, the operation between w divided by 2 and 6 is addition. So it says that we're adding, right? So in order to get rid of it, okay, to get rid of the 6, you must do the inverse. Well, the inverse we've already talked about is going to be subtraction. Okay, so I've got it rewritten where it says w divided by 2 plus 6 equals 7. I'm going to go ahead and draw my line going down the equal sign because I like to separate it. So I'm going to subtract this 6 here, and those 0 out. Okay, now whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other. So now I'm going to go over here underneath this 7, and I'm going to put minus 6 here. So 7 minus 6 is going to give us 1. And then I still have my w divided by 2. So right now, so far we're here, and we've got one more step. We've got w divided by 2 equals 1. And so let's see what step 2 says that we're going to need to do. It says, of course, we're going to get the variable y, or w, excuse me, by itself. Now the operation between w and 2 is, well, it's got the fraction bar, so it's talking about division. So we're going to write division. So to get rid of the 2, we must do the inverse operation. Well, the inverse operation of getting rid of division would be to multiply. Okay? So we're going to take our 1 that we got over here, right here, and bring it right here, because that's where we left off at. And we're going to draw that line going down to separate it, right? Okay, so right now, w is being divided by 2. So we're going to do the inverse of that, which would mean to multiply. Now, if you remember, when you did fractions last year and you were multiplying fractions, right, you could cross-simplify or cancel each other out. So if I was to write 2 as a fraction, since w divided by 2 is a fraction, I'm going to multiply, put it in parentheses. This 2, and this is my numerator, and this 2 as the denominator, they're going to cancel each other out, leaving with us with just this w right here. okay? And if I multiply this side times 2 over 1, then I'm going to want to multiply this side times 2 over 1 as well. Now remember, 1 over itself is still just 1, okay? So then when I go and multiply these, 1 times 2, well, that gives us 2. And I don't need to put it over 1 because we know that it's just 2 over 1 is the same thing as just 2. So then our answer is W equals 2. And we're going to check to see if we did that correctly by showing our work. All right, so we're going to do, right now it says W, the equation is W over 2 plus 6 equals 7. So where W is, we're going to put 2. Okay, so I get 2 over 2, which means 2 divided by 2 plus 6 equals 7. Well, 2 divided by 2 we know is 1, and 1 plus 6 does equal 7. So we did solve this correctly. All right, the videos, that's the end of the video or the end of the notes, and make sure that you go onto Canvas this time, not Skyward, to take the online quiz. You have 2 chances to take it. If you have any trouble with the logging in or finding the assignment, no worries, don't stress out. We're going to go to the computer lab the next day, on Tuesday, and I'll show you how to find the quiz in Canvas and kind of walk you through how to use Canvas. All right, see y'all tomorrow.